Hey, what's up my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to talk about the 10 most common ascension or awakening symptoms that people are experiencing in 2017. Now, how do I know? Well, because I talk to a lot of you. I have a unique position where so many of you message me with your questions, your concerns, your gratitude, and I have the blessing of being able to talk to a lot of people all going through this same shift. And these are the 10 things that I hear the most frequently. And the point of this video is it's not to predict that you're going to experience all 10 of these. That's unlikely to be the case, honestly. But it's that a lot of them are just unusual. Some are good, some are bad, depending on how you want to label it, but they're all somewhat unusual that I would bet that most of the people in your normal life are not going to relate with. And so when you find yourself going through something that no one else is talking about, it can be a little bit unnerving and you might question yourself. My hope is to bring a little bit of calm and trust and restore your faith that you are going somewhere in a positive, even though you might be going through some strange stuff. Number one is sort of a few. I don't want. There's not much to talk about. I'm just going to kind of list them. So, number one is feeling lightheaded randomly, waves of lightheadedness, ringing in your ears. I hear all the time, and heart palpitations. That's just your body adjusting to the new frequencies, the new energy. And back in like 2011, I would get lightheaded all the time. I would stand up and it was real weird because that never happened to me like that often throughout my life, and eventually it just kind of went away. But there was a time where I would just get lightheaded all the time. I had the ringing in the ears. My wife, oh geez, she's like a hypochondriac a little bit, and when her heart would have those like heart palpitations, she'd be on WebMD. Victor, look, it could be epilepsy, if there's something really wrong with you, you usually know. It'll be persistent and you go and get it checked out. I'm not saying don't just, you gotta be kind of read between the lines here. I'm just saying that it's very common for people to have these symptoms as they're adjusting to the new frequencies. As they've opened themselves up to the influx of new energy, it can manifest in those ways. Number two is third eye activation. There's a lot of stuff you can do to purposely open your third eye. I did, and it worked. I did it a long time ago. But it happens also naturally. A lot of energy is around. A lot of that same energy I was speaking about coming into your body, that will also open up your chakras. Well, your third eye is just one of your chakras, but it's also more noticeable when it starts to open. The heart palpitations oftentimes correlated with your heart chakra, but the third eye, you might go to sleep at night and close your eyes and see lights and colors and movement and feel pressure and energy and tingling, and randomly just happened to me earlier. I got out of the bathroom and I just saw like a big flash of like indigo light just right there, like on the wall, stuff like that. You start seeing lights that aren't exactly physical, almost like you were looking at the sun too long and then you look away and there's like the light there. It's kind of like that, but with really beautiful and divine colored light. So that might start happening. It's nothing wrong. Your vision's not going. No, man. It's very common for people when their third eye is starting to open. Number three, and again, I say this with caution because this doesn't happen to everybody, but I hear it enough to where I am going to talk about it for those people. And it's the experience of darkness in a sense, like opening yourself up to where you can create the experience of like a psychic attack or negative astral beings. You go to sleep at night and you're not dreaming, you kind of go somewhere and you're getting like messed with by dark looking beings and whatnot. The feeling that your house is haunted, you're being kind of followed around by dark energies. That all can happen. I went through it. And what's happening is we're not only becoming aware of just how much divinity underlies everything, we're also becoming aware at the same time of all the darkness present in the world, and it can just manifest in that sort of archetypal, fundamental, energetic sort of way for people, and it's a reflection of our fears, or just the collective fears sometimes. But regardless, it's usually a fleeting experience. There's tremendous positive benefits, because in realizing that it's not that scary, it's just kind of smoke and mirrors, and just, again, a reflection of your own fears. And so in that sense, there's nothing to be afraid of. Ironically, there comes such a degree of strength and confidence out of that experience. So it does happen. It's in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal, and does have eventual positive benefits to it. I talk more deeply about this topic and exactly what to do if it's happening to you in other videos. Go ahead and check them out if this is a concern of yours. Next, of course, fatigue, energy fluctuations. There's a lot, especially this summer, dude. There's so much energy, so much spirit energy just permeating the planet, permeating our bodies, lifting us to a higher vibration. Awesome. But there's a temporary symptom of fatigue as we adjust to that. I know when I was again, a lot of this really was intense for me many years ago, back in like 2011 to like 2014 or 15. I had ridiculous degrees of fatigue, so much so that I really thought there was something wrong with me, even though I knew I was going through an awakening process at that time. It was like I couldn't accept it. I couldn't accept that I was this tired all the time. It was just like, it was such a drag, it's such a burden in my life. But it goes away. It's a positive thing. It means you're just processing a lot of very high level energy, and it's going to have a great effect on you. But if you find yourself wiped out for no reason, it very well could be due to just this process you're going through. Number 5 is what I will say unwanted synchronicity. Oftentimes in the beginning of our journey, we have synchronicity, signs, patterns, omens, etc. that are a source of guidance. They're kind of a wake-up call, and they oftentimes will make us feel good. When you get deeper into the awakening, you'll have those same signs. You'll realize that the synchronicity is just a reflection of you, and we're always putting out multiple signals. Some of them are saying, hey, go here, it's your path. Some are saying, hey, you're still holding on to this fear, this anxiety, this issue, and now because of what's happening, you're able to see the synchronicities, physical signs that help point inward. But when this happens, sometimes it can happen sort of in a big shift overnight, where all of a sudden you feel like your synchronicities are off. Like, oh my goodness, I'm getting this like scary pattern, and I don't want this to happen, but it has that same frequency enough to get your attention to where you can't help but look at it. But again, all that is, when you ever see an unwanted synchronicity, it's because it's just your higher self doing its best to help you realize you're holding on to something, and that's why it's happening, and you'll get to the bottom of it. But a lot of people are getting deeper into the awakening, well beyond the excitement phase of, oh wow, 11:11, how exciting, we're ascending, oh my goodness. Now it's like, now it's getting real. Now we're really waking up, and we're really turning inward and confronting our darkness. At the same time, the planet is continuing to raise its vibration in and of itself, and therefore our experience of all of this is starting to become more trippy, more, where issues are seen out there in the real world. So it's okay, it's good. It means you're advancing and doing great. A lot of people I speak to are having confusing soulmate or twin flame encounters. Very, very disruptive relationships that pop into their lives, but have an undeniable common theme of intense divine connection and love. Some people are finding themselves madly in love with someone they've never really met or talked to, but the love is so real, so physical, that they pursue it. And then it turns out to be sort of a really awkward and just not like a perfect match, not an ideal relationship. But from this encounter, this divine union, there is so much growth. People are awakening each other's kundalinis and simulating all sorts of life-changing energies and circumstances. And it's just I believe a tool that we all chose, and maybe a technique, just like another helping way that we chose to maybe almost like planned ahead to meet up with, as a way of just, we're all kind of helping each other awaken. I'm doing my part, you're doing your part, we're all doing our own part with this. And this is just one of the many other ways that we're working together to help raise the consciousness of people. Kundalini Activation. I had a Kundalini awakening many, many years ago. It was like 2009 or something. Yeah, it was a while ago. But at that time, there was almost nothing on the internet. Once I finally kind of pinpointed it to what I suspected what I was going through was, and I believed it was in fact a Kundalini awakening I had experienced and was experiencing. All there really was they were books. They were like older books, older texts I would read. I probably read through a half a dozen of them. There weren't people talking about it on YouTube. There weren't dozens and dozens of blogs and programs and guides and teacher. It was nothing like that. But now, it's like every day someone's emailing me saying, oh my goodness, this is happening to me. And what they describe is just like the very natural process of the Kundalini awakening process. It's a very normal human experience, but it's just so, for a time, it was so uncommon that there's just not a lot of information and resources out there to help support people going through it until now. Now there needs to be. Now there's so many people going through it. People that don't know what the hell Kundalini is. People just regular, everyday people going through this crazy, real, energetic, spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening process, and they're like, what the hell is going on with me? Well, it's the time. We're living in a time where this energy is awakening people, or at least affecting people, whether we like it or not, whether we're aware of it or not. It's just energy, and it's coming in greater amounts every single day, and it's doing its thing. And one of those things is awakening people's Kundalini energy. This next one is financial stress. A lot of people I talk to are like in dire straits. I was there too, big time, and it's rough. And the way I look at it now, it's like, to be, for most people, usually, to have some sort of financial stability requires a time and energy investment. One route, you get out of high school, you study a lot in high school, you get accepted to a good college, you go to 4 or more years of college, then you apply for a job, and then you stay with that job for a while. Well, 15 years later, you're doing okay. You feel financially set, and that's fine. But what happens is, we're changing so much that there's a large amount of people who are saying, you know what, even though I put in this crazy time investment, I can't do it anymore. I don't even know what the hell else I want to do, but I can't do this anymore. And then we're kind of like in that like no man, that void, that in between, starting something brand new. So yeah, as you let go of the stability to allow yourself to pursue the new, there's that lull. You have yet to put sufficient amount of time and energy into your new thing. So it's just kind of like a lot of kids are broke in college. They're paying off their debt. They got some crappy job that they go to like maybe 15 hours a week, and they're studying. They're broke, but they know that in time I'm gonna get this degree and I'll get this better job and I'll have some more money. But a lot of people are starting that, in a sense, that whole process all over again. So hence the financial stress. But that even has benefits. That will really help you on so many levels because it's so scary. I went through this where I was just panicked. I don't know if there was anything that kept me up at night more than the feeling like I might not be able to support my family. But that brought out such a strength in me. Like I had to do it. Failure was not an option. And and I believe a lot of people have that experience too. And it doesn't have to be this way. Some people aren't going to go through this. Again, all these different symptoms are just patterns I recognize from talking to a lot of you. It's not a guarantee that you'll go through any of these. 9, a lot of us get, as the old, our life is crumbling. We'll get glimpses, visions, just feeling, synchronicity that reflects to us our future. I'm not saying we're all fortune tellers, we can tell the future. I'm just saying a lot of us will get a good feeling a good sensing of where this is all heading. A lot of times it's quite foggy and fleeting, but it does come. Back when I was, before I moved, I'm in San Diego, and I'm in Michigan now, but I live in San Diego now, and that was a big dream of mine. And there was a winter where it became really important for me to get out there. And where's it going with this? Ah, yes. It seemed impossible at the time. I was in that stage of letting go of everything. I let go of the job. I let go of I was watching my life just completely fall apart. And yet I just felt like it's going to somehow bring me to San Diego. And I had kind of a vision. I used to like visualize being in San Diego. And what I would always come up with, it sort of kind of happened naturally. I saw myself with a black SUV, a laptop, like near the beach. And when I would see that, it was like, wow, that's me. That's going to somehow happen. I felt that. And it did. That's what I do. I don't have it here. I work on a laptop. We have an SUV now. At the time, we didn't have any thoughts of getting a black SUV. That's exactly what we have. And we live in San Diego, and I go to the beach all the time. It worked. So, you might have that. You'll know it by how it makes you feel. I would think about that. And even though it's so weird how we can choose to see our life through different frames. I knew on such a deep level, consistently, that was in my cards. I knew it. I would oftentimes get lost in the worry and the concern, and I would sort of like lose sight of that, where it's no longer at the forefront of my mind. But anytime I really needed to, I knew. So I'm just, I don't know, I guess I would say that I'm living proof that, at least for me, that vague vision that seemed so implausible has happened for me. And I believe it'll happen for a lot of you. And I believe you already know that and feel that yourself. Number 10, I think this is a big one. I think it's starting to become more noticeable for people from this point forward. It's already happening. But that is the realization, the experiences that let you know you're supported. That you really do have actual divine guidance. Whether you want to call them your spirit guides. Some people resonate with ET, help from like their ET family, star seeds. Some people, it's angels, fairies, God, Jesus, your higher self, non-physical consciousnesses in some form that are connected with you are becoming more easily you can perceive them more now than before. And it's quite comforting. It's quite comforting to really know that you are protected, that you are being looked after, that there is a plan. There is a method to the madness you're going through. I'll just end with this. It was a dream I had the other night. I'm hesitant to share this because it might be a little strange to some of you, but just mind you, this is just my own thing, okay? It's just kind of the way I think. I'm not trying to impose it upon you or even make a claim that it's real. This is just something that is fitting for my life. But anyway, I don't have it now. I'm not going to go in my daughter's messy room, but a while back I used to watch this guy. His name was Bashar. He's a channeler. And he would sell these green contact crystals. And he said that if you buy these crystals, nothing magical happened. It's sort of like grounding. It's just sort of like making a real firm statement to the universe that you are open to building a relationship with ETs. Again, take this for what you will. I resonated with this. I bought this crystal and I had it. And I let my daughter have it. She just kind of plays with it and stuff. And the other night she said, "Here, Dad, take the crystal." So I took the crystal. She said, "Maybe you can talk to them tonight." Because I kind of explained to her a little bit about what it is. I don't try to like fill her with alien dogma or anything like that. So she's like, "Hey, Dad, take it, Daddy." So okay. So I took it, not even thinking about it. I went up to my room, and right before bed, I kind of grabbed it and looked at it, and I just said like, "Let me know you're here." I don't know why I even did it. I didn't put much thought into it. It was almost like an unconscious thing. I almost forgotten I had done it. So I put it down, and that night I had a dream, and in the dream, I woke up in the dream. It was kind of like a lucid dream. I looked over, and there was a sign that said, "I am here. And I look over again, there's another sign, and it says, and I love you. Or not and, but just I love you. But the way I felt, I could feel the presence of whatever, whether it's a freaking ET, I don't know, the presence of another entity of a very high, loving vibration that was letting me know in my own little dream symbols that, yeah, we heard you and we're here, dude. I woke up and it was just so cool. It was just so comforting. I've had that experience before, and it's always nice. But I talked to a lot of other people who have maybe not nearly what I just described, but similar types of reminders, little taps from whomever, their deceased grandmother, whatever, that says, yeah, I'm here. We're getting to a time in 2017, and these Ascension energies really open us up to where it's becoming possible to perceive that kind of stuff. That stuff has always been there. We've always been assisted. But now we're getting to a level of consciousness that we can perceive it. But to get there, all those other symptoms I described kind of come along with it. So it's all good. It means you're on the right track. You already know this. And again, the purpose of this video is to kind of just let you know that if you're going through some of these things, you're not alone. There's a lot of people. I know you don't talk to people. It's unlikely your friends and family would relate to this list very much. But I can't really express how many people contact me with this stuff, these 10 things. So there are other people around the planet, and a lot of them growing in numbers by the day, that relate with you, that understand what you're going through. It's in that, hopefully you can gain some sort of comfort. Okay, that's it. I hope this video has helped you, my friends. Have an amazing day. Thank you for all the love and the support and the comments and the likes and the shares. And everything you guys do is very helpful to me. It helps spread the message, and it's just, I perceive it as a very nice gesture, and I appreciate it. So with that, I will close. Namaste.